How not to get robbed. That's right. I'm going to show you how not to get robbed. I got a few pointers because we all seen what happened to Hit Boy, to Sonny Digital, even my man's over right here on YouTube, Eddie Leonard. Yes, we all seen what happened. And I noticed from some things, some stories I've recently just heard here locally, do not get taken advantage of, son. I'm telling you, man, it's not worth it, because not only that, somebody might take you out of your character, right? Or you might put yourself in harm's way, okay? So, let me tell you a quick story. First of all right, beware of the honey pot situation. You know what I mean? So, I had a studio, right? Back in the day. So I'm speaking from experience. Speaking from experience of back then and things I've learned now. That's right. So, speaking from experience. So, I had a studio, right? You know, this was my second studio, actually my third, but in the same building. Another story. Anyway, I had a studio, right? So, I also, be running through the hood or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So, I guess word got out like, yo, that's Kirk State over there. Because also at this time, I had the Beat Down Studio public access channel show, okay? So, over in one of the neighborhoods we usually be in and whatnot, right? Seen this little something there, you know what I'm saying? She was nice or whatever. So I'm sitting, I had the Honda Accord back in the day. I'm sitting, I had the 12-inch subs, the whole nine, right? Cranking, rocking 3-6 Mafia, you know what I'm saying? Sitting back, comes to my window. What's up? I heard you got a studio or whatever. Yeah, whatever. I, got that a lot, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody noticed me from the public access channel. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, I rap. I'm like, oh, yeah. And some of you that got studios, when some female, somebody comes to you with that rap saying whatever, you be like, yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? But, so I was used to kind of, being drawn in by the women most of the time, right? So she was like, yeah. So I was like, come by such and such or whatever. Well, I don't drive, whatever, I said, all right, I'll ride you out there. So, Slim, whatever. Wasn't that day, but that week or two or whatever it was, bring out there. And she actually had bars. She actually had bars. Very nice, chill shorty. You know what I'm saying? Looked like it wasn't her to fly, right? So, make a long story short. And then, making beats or whatever, gets a little relaxed after a week or so. You know what I'm saying? Because some days I would, at the studio, we would be in there like 2, 3, 4, even 5 o'clock in the morning, getting busy or whatever, or just chilling, right? Because the studio had 2 rooms. You had the actual studio room, where you did the vocals, everything up in the cut and all of that. And then we had a chill room with the TV. The big screen was the 27-inch back then. It wasn't no 55, 75 inches back then, right? So, we had that in there with the couches, or pillows, whatever it was, just chilling in there. You know what I'm saying? Chairs or whatever. Playing GTA 3. That's what time it was, right?
Damn.
So, got a little comfortable. So, anyway, one day, I'm riding through the hood and I always see Slim with a little crew, right? Not a threatening crew to me or anything, but just with a crew. You know what I'm saying? Only woman out there. Okay. Whatever, right? So I'm like, so one day it's late. Next thing I know, it's like, not late, it's early in the morning. Birds chirping, 6 a.m. You know what I'm saying? It was like, shorty was there, whatever. And I'm like, look, I got to get out of here. I got to go, work or whatever, right? Oh, I'm just going to chill here. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I'm like, no. Come on, let's go.
No, you're not.
Let's go, right?
Stop.
And so then, tried that, maybe, and then a few days later, it was like, same situation. But I'm leaving part out. What really tipped me off, not just with just one strike, was hanging with this crew over there, right? and just chilling all day, whatever, or all night they be out there, whatever, doing their thing. And he was like, yeah, my homeboys rap. Yeah, my homeboys this and my homeboys that. Oh yeah? I'm like, oh, okay. All right, whatever. Maybe like I can hear something, but they're not coming here. But I want to hear what they got before I even invite them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person like, yo, yeah, let me see what you got first if you on some for real type stuff. Because, back then, it was hand-to-hand combat, putting out flyers and whatever to get people to come to the studio, right? So, tried it again. She was like, it was early in the morning. Yeah. So I heard her on the phone. Yeah, I'm, just the regular Sprint PCS joint with the plastic antenna, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all come through the studio. Y'all, I hear this. No. You know what I'm saying? So, I felt as though it was going to be, you're not going to be in here while I'm out. You didn't buy no equipment in here. You know what I'm saying? I had the Juno or whatever it was, the rolling Juno back then, the 2000, the Tascam, all this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Two mics. You know what I'm saying? No, we ain't doing none of that. DJ stuff everywhere because I was more as a DJ, more than making beats, and I just wanted to record or whatever back then. So I felt as though that was a honeypot situation. Got a little too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because some cats, they are very susceptible to a honeypot. And if you know what a honeypot is, look it up. It's usually used in a intelligence language or whatever. They send honeypots your way to get you soft, get information, and you pillow talk. All right? So none of that, right? So, but not only that, these days in the streets, we call that backdooring. All right? Pause. So to get comfortable with the female, she know where you at, she drop your location, boom, your door's kicked in the back. You know what I'm saying? So number one, beware of the honeypot. All right? Number two, man. Beware of the over-aggressive cat, okay? The over-aggressive cat, okay? This dude, the type of dude that's like, yo, gotta get in the studio, man. Gotta get in the studio, right? But the catch, there's one catch. Like, yo, even back then, you gotta have a CD, a tape, something. You've been on stage, you did something. You was at the park, something. I gotta heard or hear about something if I'm a cold and invite you over. So at this time, I didn't have the studio. I just had the stuff at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So cat was like, so I met this cat at this job or whatever, right? So he was like, we just happened to be talking. And he was like, yeah, man, my cousin, this is when people started wanting to move to ATL, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, my cousin, man. Yo, he be producing, man. He making beats, man. He be doing his thing, man. He moved down to Atlanta, man. Or over to Atlanta, whatever you called it back then, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, man, I be making beats too. So me, I don't really go around telling people like, hey, yo, son, I make beats, I do music, I don't do none of that. Because I'm not the kind of person that just puts it all out there, walk into the room at the party. Hey, buddy, where do you work at? No, we don't do none of that, all right? So this cat was like, he was kind of aggressive a little bit. I could see, you know what I'm saying, a little bit younger than me, you know what I'm saying? So, at that time. So, he's like, yeah, he got MPC, man. He had let me hold it, man. It was, yo. I said, oh, yeah. I said, dang, man, I got an MPC. I made some beats and whatever, right? I said, yo, when I see you next time, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to let you hear the beats. So I always carried a bunch of CDs because it was those days. You would, like I say, hand-to-hand combat. You hanging out and you would hand out your beat CDs. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere to local colleges or whatever it was, hand out your beat CDs. On the corner, at the store, at the liquor store, you handing out your beat CDs. So anyway, I got it on deck, always ready. I've been on some stay ready, so you have to get ready for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So he like, yo, ooh, this is nice. So you got the MPC, right? I said, yeah, it's at the crib. I should have never said that. So seen him again. So he's like, yo, man. He said, yo, I'm give you my number, man. I missed you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Trade numbers and stuff. So he's hitting me up. Now, the bad part about him hitting me up was that it was always late at night. And I'm talking 11, 12, 1 a.m. type stuff. And then he was like, yo, where you at, man? I want to come out check out the NPC. I'm like, yo, son, I might have seen you 7 times in the last 3 weeks or so, and you worry about my location? You must don't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, and I don't have no proof of you doing anything other than these ghost stories about your cousin moving to the ATL producing, right? So then I noticed after a couple of days after that, he started talking a little slick. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, yeah, what's up, man? Hey, I don't know you like that, playboy. You be talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to know wild cowboy stuff. I ain't no tough guy, but yo, you know, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But by him being still a kind of a stranger, it still felt weird that he was pushing. I mean, pause, man. He was going hard, pause, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he started texting me. I mean, not texting me. He started kept calling because wasn't no text back then, really, right? I mean, we had the Sky pages, but his butt, he ain't have one. I had one, but he ain't had one. But anyway, so, and I felt like, so one day it was late, right? Me and my homeboy, and so it was actually the woman I was with at the time. She heard the cat on the phone, and she was like, you need to cut him off. What do you want? I was like, you're worried about making some music or whatever. She's like, nah, he on a different type of situation right there. You know, cut him off, right? I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, beware of the over-aggressive, over-eager cat that has nothing to show you, nothing to prove, okay? You may be just trying to get your because maybe he does want to make beats, but he never made one with no equipment. He's going to make one with your equipment, okay? Cut him off, all right? Number 3, man. Okay, you got nice talent. They're cool. They're cool, right? They came over. They paid you for your studio time a couple of times. When they came over, they had their homeboy or their girlfriend with them. Then the second time they came, they had their homeboy and his 2 cousins. And then next thing you know, those 3 cats came with 3 different broads that wasn't the girlfriends, right? Now they got 7 people in your joint and maybe only hold 15 people in there, and you don't know none of these people. Okay? I can't work like that. Never have, never will. All right? Don't bring no gang of cats to the crib. Any of you got some old school black fathers and all that and mothers, you know, don't bring nobody over that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? These days a little different, but back then you bet not bring nobody you met at the playground or the basketball court to the crib. Who is that? Get them out of here. You know what I'm saying? My dad would throw you out in a second, son. All right? So, people bringing a bunch of cats over to the studio. They ain't writing no songs. They ain't playing no melodies. They ain't giving no tips or whatever, pause. Right? They're not doing none of that. They just want to come and hang out. Yo, let's go over your man's spot with the studio, man. They on the phone. You know what I'm saying? We in there working. They telling people, yeah, we at the studio, man. Making it sound cool. Yeah, but you ain't doing nothing. You just sitting here chilling, impressing some broads. No. So, yo, beware of people that bring a bunch of heads around that ain't got nothing to do with it, okay? Lay the law down early. You gotta put your foot down early with these type of cats. They want to bring a bunch of people, hang out. Studio time costs money. You know what I'm saying? Even 20-something years ago, I might have been charging $40 or $50 an hour, right? Which was good, okay? Because if I could make, my mark was there, if I could make $200, $300 a day in the room, in the studio, I was good. You know what I'm saying? Very good. You know what I'm saying? Because the rent wasn't but $500. So you can make that in the week, and everything else was profit. You see what I'm saying? So even those type of times, so now you got to really keep your head on the swivel because they bringing all these people over, wasting your time. You might have paid for 2 hours, but they're there hanging around for 4 hours. We ain't doing it because I got stuff to do. I got to go, you know, whatever I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Or I want to be creative myself, have some time in here because I'm not in the studio 24 hours a day, right? I'm raising my son. You know what I'm saying? All these other things are going on. So beware of those people that want to bring the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? They want to bring the whole gang. You know what I mean? No, we're not doing none of that. If it ain't your mother and your father or your sister or somebody that's in the group that's actually contributing, okay. But people hanging out, no. If anybody gonna bring somebody hanging out, it's gonna be me, okay? It's going to be me. I'm bringing the people to hang out. You know what I'm saying? We ain't having none of that, son. Beware of the people that have nothing to lose. This is number 4. Beware of the people who have nothing to lose. How would you know you got nothing to lose, okay? All right. Now, this is the age. People been talking tough on records since the early 90s, right? Once we got away, from some of the party rock, rap, and all of that stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Some of the electronic, fast stuff, just talking, whatever. Then came the NWA days, and all this other stuff came behind it, right? Even in the 80s, you had a little bit, with the PSK, Parkside Killers and all of that, or BDP, you know what I'm saying, on the cover with the pistols and all of that. But that was like, they might have been like that for real, but they really wasn't talking crazy or putting people out there or putting dates and all of that on there. So now these days, you got people, their whole shtick or their whole spiel or their whole stage thing is to get on there and talk on some real tell on themselves snitch rap, right? So not only that, you got these cats, they don't have a dollar to their name, and they got to make a name for themselves. And how they going to make a name for themselves? Coming to your spot, they ain't got nothing to lose, talk crazy. Now it seems that the ops of their ops are your ops because you co-signing, because they might be recording on the iPhone in your studio, and you sitting there, don't know what's going on. They throwing the signs up, you know what I'm saying? You don't know, they talking in a different language, basically. You don't know what they're talking about, this street and this side and that side. You don't know. So these cats have nothing to lose. So beware of the cats that have nothing to lose. Like in the streets, you got some cats, they walk around all day with no shirt on, look with a chip on the shoulder, right? Or that's just the type of person they are. The only thing they had today to eat was a bowl of cereal. And you look like an easy mark. Because you got all these things you was blessed with, this equipment, even if it costs you $3,000, maybe you got a PC or a MacBook or whatever, and a MIDI keyboard. That's a whole week meal to them. Okay, a whole week meal. Yo, son, you don't want to be on the plate. Okay, so what I would do if I was you, I would stay away from the cats got nothing to lose. How can you tell they ain't got nothing to lose? Because if they're talking all that crazy stuff in their songs, and you say, well, all right. Yo, give me 150 for 1 hour or 2 hours. Oh, man. Come on, man. You got to do something, man. And you talking crazy. And the gestures, no. I tell you what, let me think about it. And then guess what? It's going to be a long thought because you'll never hear the end of that one, okay? So, beware the cats have nothing to lose. Not only will they break into your stuff, they may get you into something that you ain't got nothing to do with, all right? And trust me, you don't want to be there, all right? So, yeah, man, just some quick tips. Yo, son, keep your head on the swivel. Stay away from the honeypots. Stay away from the people that running the whole crew around you. Yo, stay away with the people who have nothing to lose. Stay away from the overly aggressive, overly eager cats. Because you will find yourself somewhere or in a situation you may have to defend yourself. Hey, I don't wake up every day thinking I want to hurt somebody. No, you don't do that. But you got a level head. You got this far. You got blessed with this talent, and you don't want to lose it over some clowns. All right? Don't be part of their circus. This your man, Kirk State. We out of here.
It's DJ Kirk State.